Hey guys, Rexisol here and welcome to Patch Notes on the 2nd of September 2025. It's been a bit of a while. I took August off. August was a month. It was very warm. It is not very warm right now, that's why I'm in a jumper, which is fantastic. I am much loving the very rapid and sudden change into autumn. So, big fun there. Big thumbs up. August, a lot of stuff happened. I say a lot of stuff. A lot of nerd stuff. It was a month. Did we actually do anything extravagant? I don't think so. Basically, it was just a lot of Warhammer Horus Heresy, a little bit of Old World. That's about it. No tournaments. I'm doing an Escalation League at the moment with the new edition of Heresy. This Thursday we've got our first proper game at 1,000 points, and my list is trash. Mostly because I can't bring any good stuff yet. At least not in a capacity that I feel comfortable in. So I need to wait until 2 weeks' time when we're at 1,500, where we can actually play something good. I can play my Crimson Paladins, which is what I want to play. Because it's too much of a hassle to slot them in at this rate. What else happened in August? We had a D&D day. I had a D&D day, I should say. That was really, really fun. Yeah, that's all I can think about. Last weekend, my dear friend HS, or Hassan, who is a long-time friend through YouTube gaming, so back in 2016, 17, 15, 16, 17, around that era when we were streaming on YouTube for a big group, and it was really, really great. I was playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, good times. So someone who pinged around a lot of people's chats and things. He came to visit. Specifically, he's doing a UK tour, was doing a UK tour, he's back at home now. And we, as in us two, and then Richard and Michaela, or Dragonheart Panda Princess, went to go see a Cardiff City football game at Cardiff City Stadium. It was pissing it down with rain, and we were in the second row seats of the Canton stand right next to the goals, and we got absolutely drenched. But we got to witness a 4-0 victory, so that was fun. It was good. Atmosphere was interesting and very, very fun. And some pretty one incredible goal. And then a bunch of, I guess, they were playing Plymouth, so not really the most. I don't feel like Plymouth were bad. It's just that they were outmatched, I think, is the way to put it, really. But yeah, no, it was a good game. Other than being absolutely drenched. And after that, we went to Wagama Mars, and it was great. And then that was like the big thing of August, I guess, to be honest, and it was last weekend. I've been doing a lot of Warhammer stuff, just painting and building, mostly building things. I'm looking down because that's where my box of things that still need to be built is. I've been doing a lot of, my friend Aaron has been doing a lot of 3D prints for me, and I've been putting those together for the use on the battlefield, so I'm excited to put those together. Once again, not a high enough points value where I can actually use all of them or a lot of them, but I'm looking forward to those higher points games, which would be nice. 2 weekends ago we did our monthly Old World sort of crisscross section, 1,000 points. I don't want to say I played terribly. My army was shit. And I'm not the only high elves player, but I think there was an element of my army composition which was terrible, but it was also terrible against what I was going up against. And we have one player that's playing a dwarf gun line, and the dwarf gun line is impossible for a high elf army to really deal with because strength 4 AP1 guns means that they're wounding on 3s and your armor save is negligible. Whereas if you're shooting them, you're wounding on 5s, which is already the difference between a dice roll where you need 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a 66% chance, or a 5 or 6, which is a 33% chance, is a significant difference. And then on top of that, you don't have an armor piercing value, which means that they're taking 4 up to 3 up saves, depending on what the hell you're shooting at. Which means you got a 50% chance, effectively, of negating your hit, whereas you're not negating anything. So, really fun to go against. And then on top of that, the other armies were gun lines and cannons, and I didn't get to go against Richard's vampires, which I'm very disappointed in, because I was really looking forward to seeing this stuff. He looks like he's really enjoying that army, and it's always nice to see your friend really enjoying something. So hopefully next time we'll get some more battles. What we should, next time we're going to be doing doubles, which will be really nice. So we're going to do randomized doubles, 1,000 points still, but it'll be 2,000 point games effectively. Should be really, really fun. So, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, and then the Escalation League is basically the big other thing that's been going on. Oh, did we have a Joe weekend as well? I think we did, right at the beginning of the month. I think so, because it was Andrew's birthday. Right at the beginning of the month, our friend Joe came down, and we continued our D&D one-shot. We had a game on the Friday. I remember it being a long game, like much longer than it should be. We were supposed to do 2, we only did 1. But on the Saturday, then we came over, and we finished our D&D one shot. It's like a heist. It was very fun. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. And then we went to pub, and then we went to curry, and it was very good. So yeah, that was basically that. That was good. Good fun. But I'm really, really enjoying Horus Heresy at the moment, to be honest. I'm enjoying just the just everything, to be honest about it. I feel like my dice rolls are average for that's for sure. Not for fucking Warhammer. Old World, that's for sure. Yeah, in terms of video gaming, so me, my brother, and Tsunami have been playing Roadcraft on and off, because we're still currently playing Baldur's Gate 3, and we want to finish that. We're like 2 sessions from the end, but at this point, probably, hopefully. So we'll be playing Roadcraft more often. But because we've been playing Roadcraft, I was like, I'm going to play SnowRunner, which is the game that came before it. And I was playing it, and it was like, God, this would be so much better if I had more people helping me, because like sometimes it's bring long log from this place, but you got to deliver 3, and you can only deliver 1 at a time, so it takes you like 2 hours just to do 1 job, and you're like, fuck's sake. And then you flip your truck, and you're like, uninstall. It's literally what happened. I was like, fuck this game. It's so badly annoying. It's not. The game is built around it. That's literally the point of the game, is you got to be careful with how you're driving things. But there is, like, sometimes you flip your truck and you're like, fuck's sake. So that was a very brief 3 days, I think, of doing that. I didn't even do that much in it. But then Dawn of War Definitive Edition, or Remastered, or whatever the fuck, I think it's Remastered, came out. And I had a discount because I've already got the game, so I bought it. I played through the entirety of the first game, effectively, Dawn of War. I forgot how short it was, but God, it's a good campaign. Really, really fun. And I really like the way that it ramps you up. I think that any good sort of RTS campaign should do this, where it's like, you start with the shitty stuff, and then you slowly ramp up to bigger and better things. And yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Then I played Winter Assault. I did the Destruction campaign. And I got stuck on the last level, because the last level is timed in a really annoying way. Because it basically expects you to... The issue that I have with Winter Assault is that it expects you to be an RTS god. Or at least be incredible with hotkeys. And I ain't that kind of RTS player, I'm going to be really honest. So I just flailed around. And then it's also the annoying thing with Winter Assault, and this was apparent in the penultimate mission, is that it expects you to... the missions are really interesting, but the execution is not great. So One of them is that there's a sacrificial altar at the very center of the battlefield, and you have to possess individual units to go get them, but when you're going up to them, you're attacking them, and they're specifically guardsmen units, which means they die really quickly. So you need to go up with your sorcerer alone, and then when you possess them, they become allies to you, which means that the enemy is going to shoot them, and because they're guardsmen, they die really quickly. So it became really faffy, and I really didn't like that. But I completed that, and then I got to the last mission, and it was so difficult. I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. It was so hard. And effectively, the map is split into two, Chaos and Orcs. And you can switch between either faction, so you can do whatever you want. And I did the Chaos at first, and I was absolutely decimated by the Space Marines that were kind of just convoying through. And then that meant that I was so far back. What I should have done is just restarted, but that feels so bad. Because then the guardsmen just kept sending wave after wave after wave, and it was awful. Also, Chaos faction is really shit compared to the Space Marine faction, which is annoying. Until you get the really cool demon units at the end, they're just not very good. And then on the other side, the Orcs, I did much better, except that by the time I was playing through the Orcs, I'd already fucked up the Chaos section, so I was too late, and it just didn't do anything. So that was my bad, really. Really, I should just redo that mission, but as the Orcs only. Anyway, beyond that, I then played the Order faction, and I couldn't get through level 1 because the game glitched. So what's supposed to happen is, as the Imperial Guard, you go through all of these gates, defeat it, get to a demon gate, then you swap over as the Eldar, which took me a while to realize I'm supposed to call in reinforcements to help me destroy the power generators against the demon gate. Did that, and then the guard is supposed to like come through, kill all the artillery pieces, and then you win, but the win didn't trigger. So I just stood there like an idiot, and I was like, I don't know what I need to be doing now, and then I just was like, fuck it. So I moved on to Dark Crusade. I attempted an Eldar. I hated every moment. I forgot how much I hate Eldar. Because they're elves, and I hate elves. But they're not wood elves, so that's fine, I guess. So I did, and then my next one was like, tries the Tau, because whilst the Tau were really bad in terms of just like, why the fuck are you doing this? Their guns are very strong, which suits my playstyle a lot in Dawn of War. And that is just, you need a few units of really strong guns that just shoot everything down. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then I got counter-attacked by Orcs, and I accidentally pressed the auto-resolve button, and then I rage quit because I lost the province. So, like, fuck's sake. So, it's going well. I'm honestly, I think I might just skip Dark Crusade. Everyone says that Dark Crusade is their favourite, but I don't know how many people play Soulstorm, because Soulstorm is my favourite. Because it was so good. But I don't know if that's just because that was the only Dawn of War game that we had after Dawn of War, because I never played Winter Assault or Dark Crusade as a kid. I played Dawn of War 1, and then I played Soulstorm. So, yeah. Although yeah, it's fine. I'm not even going to continue asking questions. So, yeah. There we go. I have that information thrown at you completely. 13 minutes of absolute faff. What else has been going on? Well, my own D&D has been pinging around. Our Monday sessions are like everywhere because some people just can't make it or are ill or whatever. Yesterday we had 3 people missing. We was already not a session, but another person was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm not here." It's like, yeah, but that's fine. We got no session. That would have been insane. Just to do a session with 3 other people instead of the total 6. I don't think that would have worked. Yawn, sorry. I was up late last night, specifically because I have joined a fantasy football league. I am now officially an American. Specifically with my wife's family, who are all American. We did our draft yesterday. Because they're all American, and it's Labor Day yesterday, so they didn't have work. It was a public holiday for them. Lucky. I say having had a public holiday literally last week on a Monday. They called us. It was like 9:30 in the evening for us, and then it took 2 hours to do the draft, where basically you pick stuff. So we have a team. It's all right. It's not all right. We have no strategy. We literally went for the funniest sounding names, and that's who we picked. So we'll see how it goes. And then, yeah, that's why I'm tired today. Back to D&D. The Sunday Crew are heading into the final part of the arc that they've been doing for the last year, and I feel like a year and a half. I'm so happy that they're finally here. I made a DM decision, which I'm going to reveal to all, including those people who are part of that. Originally, I was going to make it a beeline where you get to this section, you get to what you're looking for, which is the amulet. And you have a really cool, 2 to 3 session fight. And I decided I don't want to do that because that's anticlimactic. As much as I'm sure you guys want to be out of here, this section of the story is one that I have put quite a bit of work in, and I want you to experience it in the way that I would like you to experience it. So it might be slower than you're anticipating, but I'm hoping that it's going to fulfill the story and make it I don't see, the thing is, I'm trying to describe this in a way to not give anything away, and that's difficult to do. But basically, I thought that this was going to be a quicker section than it's actually going to be when we were initially discussing this, because I think I can make a better story out of it. And I don't want to, considering the amount of, I don't want to say amount of planning, it's not super well planned. At least it wasn't until I was like, I want to make this a cool moment, and I want you to fight for this. So you're just going to have to deal with it. And hopefully it doesn't become frustrating to play. But I want it to feel... Effectively, I want to give you that sense of not quite powerlessness, but a sense of there is something happening here and we need to put a stop to it, rather than, oh, we're here, let's find this and just end it. That option is still there, but I have a feeling that you guys will be more interested in having to decipher what is happening and then doing something about it. There we go. Have that. Last session was really interesting for me. I did something interesting with one of the monster stat blocks, which I can reveal now, which is that the monster creature had a specific armor class, and then in combat, in hand-to-hand, its armor class was increased drastically to represent that it was a master swordsman. So it was good. It very much made the balance work better. Also because of the personality and how this creature operates, it meant that the fight ended after a certain situation occurred. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so that's basically what's been going on here. We're approaching a time of the year where spraying models are going to be an issue for me in terms of, I'm back to Warhammer. So I've sprayed a lot of models as much as I can. I'm going to be painting a lot of red. I used a red primer, but my red primer is a bit too shiny, matte. The actual name of the spray is Pure Red, and it really is. So it's actually working as intended. but I think it's more red than I was anticipating it being. However, I have painted a bunch of those units that I have sprayed red, and they look alright. They don't look amazing. I personally despised the process of painting them in the way that they're painted because they're sprayed red, because I feel like they have no detail whatsoever. That they're basically just red, and then I've put like gold trimmings and some black in some situations, and then their gun is slightly metal, and there we go. And I feel like that's all I did, and that is literally all I did, and it doesn't feel good, but it looks alright from a distance, and it serves its purpose. But because I really despised, the issue is, here is the issue, is that my normal process is to spray them white and then put all the colour on top of it because I use contrast paints or speed paints. That is a lot more work because I'm doing Space Marines which are all red. So I am going to be adding several hours to the process. However, I'm going to be able to actually understand and denote the different sections of my models now. Because before, if you spray everything all red and then you're doing like, I want to put the black trimmings here, and then you're like, I don't know what is a trimming anymore because everything's just red. It's just a really odd feeling. So I'm going to work through my process. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to rethink what I'm doing. But I have a feeling that it's just going to look better. And that's what I want. It is going to be frustrating because I am going to have to do red base coating, or basically a new base coat on top of the primer of a red, which will look slightly different to the red that I've sprayed others in. Yeah, welcome to painting. It is a certain thing that happens. Yeah, that was that. What else have I done this month? I watched The Princess Bride for the first time. Is that what it's called? I think so. Maybe? I can't remember. That old film with the guy and Andre the Giant. I think it's called The Princess Bride. I might be wrong. Either way, I watched that for the first time. I know the story and I've seen many clips, but I never actually watched the movie in its entirety. It was good fun. I really enjoyed it. And then I think that's all we did. I feel like I was much busier. I feel like I did do a lot of things on the weekends. It was a very busy month, but a lot of it was like, I'm hanging out with friends today, I'm going to see the football, I'm doing a Warhammer day, so that's already 3 weekends out of the 4. So yeah, exactly. Oh, and I did a D&D day, so there we go, that's all of them. Yeah, and this month looks like it's going to be pretty much the same, to be honest. I'm going to see my parents 2 weekends' time. There's another D&D day. There's going to be another Warhammer day, which we should probably figure out because September's only got 4 weekends. Yeah, I've got a bottomless brunch on a Friday. I've got a team, an old colleague meetup, I should say, or another day. It just never ends. It never ends, but it never feels like you're really doing anything, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this patch notes. Basically, all I have to say about that. I hope that you guys I hope that you guys enjoyed your summer, because if you're living in Britain, summer is finally over. We may get a resurgence in late September, as we usually do. Just have one final hurrah. Or we might have a resurgence in November, which could happen. And that would be weird, but also climate change. Either way, that's that. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week, hopefully, probably, most definitely. Ta-ta.